On this episode of Municipality, we will share the second part of our interview with Councilor Burnley Jr. Please enjoy.
So I started doing organizing, like helping create protests, like pressuring governments in the greater Boston area about, I guess, over 10 years ago now. Really, when I started going to college and really getting involved with the community there. And they kind of just naturally led me to run for city council because when you get involved with community enough, when you say, I care about housing, I care about the environment, let's do something on it, and you meet enough people, suddenly people are like, hey, you should, maybe you should run for office. Maybe you should try to find another way that you can help. And that's what happened to me. People, after I did a lot of organizing in Somerville, people said, maybe you should run for city council.
And what are some things you do to campaign?
Yeah, so electoral campaigns all kind of have the same fundamentals. It's like with I was just talking to one student about sports. In sports, there's certain things you do, and in campaigns, there's certain things you do. Like you canvass, you knock on doors, you talk to people, and ask them about what they care about. Tell them what you plan to do to make their lives better. You call them, you phone bank. You go to debates and hash it out against the people who are running against you in real time, which can sometimes be awkward because sometimes you like the people you run against and sometimes you don't like the people you run against, and both are awkward when you have to meet them in person and say, no, you're wrong. I think we can do better than that. And mainly you try to meet as many people as you can and make sure that they feel included in the vision that you have for the community.
Did you grow up in Somerville? And if not, where were you born? And when did you move here?
I did not grow up in Somerville. I grew up in San Diego. I was born in a city in California called Riverside, which does not have a good reputation. So don't look it up. But it's a real place. And then I moved to San Diego when I was 3 years old. And then I moved to Boston when I went to college. And I got to Somerville right as I graduated college in 2016.
Can you run for both mayor and the at-large city council seat in the same election, or do you have to pick one?
You have to pick one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Which means any city councilor who runs for mayor, if they lose, they have no job. They lose their city council job and they don't get the mayor job, which makes it a risk for anybody to take that path. But running for office is always a risk because you're putting your name out there, you're putting your face out there, and you're opening up yourself to criticisms, to naysayers, to haters. I'm on the internet. I know you all are on the internet too, and it's not always a nice place. People don't always say the nicest things on the internet. But when you are a public figure, you have to be willing to deal with that and to know that what you're fighting for is more important than, what some anonymous account might say on the internet.
Okay, I have a question. Why did you want to take that risk?
I'm really impatient as a person. I don't like when there are good ideas on the table, there's better ways to move forward, and when I'm met with, oh, well, it's hard, it's complicated, it's gonna take some time, I'm always saying, let's move faster, let's try to do this, let's get to a place where we feel like the community we live in matches the idea of what we know it can be. Because I know that so many people in Somerville feel like it can be an even better place for everybody. And getting us from point A to B is what my job is. And so taking the risk to run for mayor for me was about really trying to do as much as I can to accelerate us on the path to actually becoming the kind of community I know we can be.
Question. How long is a mayor's term, or how many times can you run for mayor?
Yeah, the mayor's term and the city council's term and the school committee's term in Somerville currently are all 2 years. We are actually working on charter reform right now in the council, which means we're redoing the city's constitution, and we are discussing whether the mayor's term should be 4 years, whether the city council's term should be 4 years. So we're maybe going to change that soon, but probably not. And there are no limits for how long you can run. There was a city councilor when I ran, named Bill White, who had been a city councilor for I think 28 years. Longer than anyone, twice as long as you all have been alive. And he was an old man. He's still, he's still around. But you can, if you really want to, make this your entire life. We'll see if I get there.
Listening. Stay tuned for part 3, and remember you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or Spotify.